Hi, everyone. It is Wednesday, March 18th. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and joining us tonight. And as we, of course, have been nightly, we'll continue to do so. A great deal of information, updates, and new developments in regards to the local, state, and national response and dealing with the coronavirus. We'll also have coverage of two local governmental meetings, the Sagersville City Council and McFarland County Fiscal Court. A lot of those meetings, as you can well imagine, dedicated to a lot of information that I've already covered here. However, there were some other topics of discussion that we'll relay to you in just a few moments. Those meetings, your weather forecast, which has got storms and showers, the likes of which you may see rolling in behind me before I leave you as they're getting that close, and a host of other news and information. Let's go ahead and begin with updates from the governor, our president, and from our local public health director here in Sagersville in regards to, as I told you last evening, 6, as it was reported by the McFarland County Health Department, individuals which met the criteria for being tested here locally for the coronavirus. We'll begin real quickly with the governor, as he was, I believe, still making his announcement as I sat down. Of course, yesterday making the announcement about all the public-facing businesses closing this evening and ordered closed for an unknown amount of time. That, of course, has been something that's taken a lot of adjustment for a lot of businesses and causing a great deal of concern. The governor today promising to make all those whole after this is over. He also, of course, yesterday recommended that viewings and funerals should include only immediate family, with larger memorial services delayed until the COVID-19 pandemic decreases or passes to some degree. The Funeral Directors Association of Kentucky is also asking its members to follow the governor's advice. And then today, some stunning news from the governor in his announcement. Some good news to begin. His daily update saying that the second patient to be released from a Kentucky hospital has been a Montgomery County patient who was released from the hospital and is said to be recovering now at home. Some good news followed by, as he referred to, some very tough news, as you will agree. He prefaced this with asking everyone to stay calm and announcing that an 8-month-old child in Jefferson County was one of the latest to have been confirmed to have contracted the coronavirus, saying that the child was at home and was doing very, very well. Everything was seemingly all right with the child except for the diagnosis, but also talking about how very rare that it was to have such a small child, as hardly any children have been known to have contracted the coronavirus. Testing results, as they are done much more frequently across the nation, may indeed change that, but it is still an unknown. But this causing a great deal of concern and worry, and certainly for the parents. He said that that child was one of 3 new cases in the state of Kentucky: an 80-year-old woman from Bourbon County and a woman of unknown age in Jefferson County, bringing the total of cases for the Commonwealth of Kentucky, positive cases of coronavirus, to stand right now at 29. The president addressed the nation earlier today. He did so invoking the Defense Production Act, which gives the private sector the ability to really up manufacturing and distribution of emergency medical supplies and equipment that are greatly needed across the nation. It also gives the president and the White House the ability and authority to increase the production of items such as ventilators and masks and respirators, and also give hospitals more capacity and ability to help combat the coronavirus. As of this morning, 6,519 confirmed cases across the nation, 114 deaths in the United States, as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that right now, the numbers in the United States are closely following the same numbers and patterns and trends in other countries. And then right now, about 4 out of every 5 deaths are in someone 65 and older. No deaths in children. And of course, we're just now starting to see some children affected. He says that being the president, that he's working closely with Congress on a nearly $1 trillion stimulus package that we first reported to you on yesterday. The exact particulars of that still not announced. Vice President Mike Pence, in his announcement today following that of the president, said in regards to that the Trump administration is proposing at least a $500 billion stimulus. Other officials saying that those checks could arrive on April the 6th and May the 18th, the amount of the payment to be linked to income and number of children in the family. And that's all we know on that stimulus package as of yet. And now for the local update. I do not have him on camera or in studio, but I just got off the phone with McGoffin County's Public Health Director and Mayor of Sagersville, Pete Shepard, a short time ago. As Health Department officials here in McGoffin County told us last evening that 6 people had met the criteria to be tested or have a test taken by local healthcare providers here in the Sagersville and McGoffin County area, and those tests being sent or samples being sent to labs across the state. As of yesterday, 6 had been sent today. Shepard tells me that 3 of those tests have come back as negative, and they have no other information on the other 3 as of yet. They are still waiting. As you can imagine, those tests taking anywhere from 24 hours to up to 5 days. Some healthcare providers are being told. But the good news is certainly that 3 of those 6 tests, which were sent in to labs, or the state lab, came back negative for the city of Sagersville and McGoffin County. We'll, of course, closely follow those numbers and everything else that you need. And speaking of what you need to know, a great deal that I need to tell you about in tomorrow's Sagersville Independent in just a second.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great, and it's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville. Don't drive or let your family drive in this or this before doing this. Stopping at Conley Tire in Staffordsville for brakes, oil, alignment, and of course, tires. Thousands of tires in stock every day to fit anything with 6 months no interest financing and over 33 years of quality service with a smile. Conley Tire in Staffordsville. If your spring projects include gravel, rock, sand, or drainage pipe, your dollar will go farther at Tomahawk Feed and Farm Supply here in Sagersville. It's always in stock and ready for pickup and delivery. And now there's 2 locations for all of your feed and farm needs. Tomahawk has the region's largest inventory and lowest prices on all pet and livestock feed, gates, fencing, and everything your farm needs. In Sagersville off 114 at Red Light number 4, and in West Liberty on Liberty Road behind the Ford store. Tomahawk Feed and Farm Supply. Creekside Stitching and Feed is the place to go for all of your custom embroidery needs. Shirts, caps, jackets, and more. And they've got the best prices on value pack dog food, blue ribbon beef mix, kickin' chicken, and shell and cracked corn. And premium quality gates, hay rings, and bunk feeders, plus metal carports and garages as low as $1,400 installed. For all of your embroidery, feed, and farm supplies, Creekside Stitching and Feed, 1 mile up Bear Branch off of Route 30.
At work, we do a lot of live shows with crowds. I used to sit up there and not really know who was looking at me. I was finally tired of contacts and glasses, tired of paying for contacts, and I just decided I need to get these eyes fixed. Able Eyes was great. If someone asked me if they should get LASIK, I would absolutely recommend it. At first, like many people, I'm hesitant, but after going to Able Eyes and they walk me through it, I know that it's a quick and painless process, and I recommend going to Able Eyes. They were the best.
Right now, you can take advantage of their lowest prices of the year at $1,800 per eye.
Right now, coverage of a couple of local governmental meetings. We'll start with the Sagersville City Council meeting earlier this week. One of the early discussions was one of the longest of the meeting of the night, an agenda item, which was the opportunity, as it happens every 4 years, for the City Council to set or adjust their monthly compensating rate that the City Council members are paid. It has to be done before election time, if indeed it is to be changed. Sagersville City Council persons are currently paid $100 for regular meetings and $50 for any special meetings, with Tommy Bailey in this week's meeting, first asking what a fair increase would be as it pertains to the cost of living, and then saying that he didn't see anything wrong with raising their $100 a month in pay to $150 a month. But no other members were in favor of it. Councilman Bailey then made a motion to do the opposite and completely do away with their monthly compensation, and then voted no against his own motion.
You're not for it?
No, I'm not.
How about the rest of you?
I'll discuss it first, and we can vote on it if y'all want to.
Well, that's what we're doing, discussing.
Well, yeah, you're supposed
Yeah,
to.
but you're acting like you're the mayor, asking them, that's my job. You're supposed to bring it to the floor. and
It shouldn't be.
I'm supposed to ask them.
Well, I'm waiting on you.
Well, I was waiting on you to discuss a little bit more. I thought you might have something else to say, but since you're on
This job is supposed to be for the betterment of the county, I don't see.
Yeah, and I feel like in light of all the other jobs that the city's had, I just don't see it.
Well, I tell you what let's do, if you just don't wanna give it a little cost of living increase, let's just do away with it.
I donate mine anyway. I
I
donate mine.
make a motion to,
I'm donating that, so
I make a motion that we all just do away with it,
that's fine with me.
since you don't wanna give it a little raise.
Well, I mean, we get $100 per meeting and we're hardly ever in here an hour. I don't make $100 at my job an hour. Nobody else in here does either, probably, so,
Well, you only enter once a month.
exactly. If I made $100 an hour,
probably wouldn't be sitting here.
No, wouldn't be at that job.
but it's not about the money,
Ain't nobody getting that job.
I'm here,
Well, it ain't just like me. Like I said, I donate mine to a different church in city limits every month, so whatever you wanna do.
Well, the way I feel about it is you all do give a service, and you do take some of your time out to come of a night. And then plus, of a month, you go out, and a lot of you do, I know, Tommy, we go out sometimes and look at some stuff like that, and I know Pat does, and I know y'all do too, and you can call and stuff like that, so. But if you don't wanna make it 0, that's fine with me, if you wanna keep it 100, that's fine with me, I don't think it should be raised, in my opinion. But other than that, I think you earn the money. You earn the money with being on council. I know it's a service to the city and all that, but you do earn it.
Well, that's the reason I said leave status quo.
So some of you get a lot of aggravation, some of you get a lot of calls, more than others, but, that's just part of it, but I have, whether you all wanna raise or not, that's up to you all, that's raise them, do away, whatever. I do think you deserve something, I think it's, to me, but so you wanna table it till the next meeting, think it over, and vote on it then, or you wanna vote now? You've got one more month to vote on it, or talk about it, or discuss it. I know it was on the agenda, and I know a lot of you, it's kind of a situation where, you look good or look bad, or sometimes if you vote for it, it kind of puts you in a spot, so.
Yeah.
But that's up to you guys.
But it's fine to keep raising everybody else in the city,
Workers, yes, they're salaried employees.
workers.
They get, if this was a 40-hour job, yeah, I could see giving a raise every year. I mean, that's, especially when a lot of our employees are underpaid, but as far as that is, I don't, when you're elected to an office, you run for an office to be elected for a certain reason, that's usually for the benefit of the community or one of
We
the
work
community.
construction,
Most people don't run for election to get money,
we worked the whole year and
Yeah.
our raise increased of $1 every year.
especially for the city, if you run to vote, to get to make a living out of this office, you couldn't be able to do it.
But we're drawing pretty good checks.
But Because I think that's apples and oranges about employees and then council or fiscal court members or anything else. That's not, not comparable.
Still got that in the motion?
I didn't make a motion.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Make a motion to do away with it.
Hasn't been seconded.
Hasn't been seconded.
You making that
What do
motion?
you wanna do?
just leave it like it is.
I'll leave it like
I'm
it
gonna
is.
leave it like it is.
So you gonna do, Ted?
You making that motion?
Yeah, I make that
I
motion.
second it.
But leave it as it is.
No. No.
Do away with it.
Yeah.
Cut it to 0.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. You made the motion to do away with the $100 a month for the city council. Any more discussion on it? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
You can't tell that.
That's a good.
Now make a motion to raise it.
Time out, now, you're not making motions here, you gotta do one motion at a time, Tom. Now,
We did.
Are you gonna make a motion to do away with it?
I did.
Then I asked for a vote on it.
He was on one vote.
I was on
That's
one
right.
vote.
Zero.
Wonderful.
All opposed, say aye.
You vote.
Aye.
I'll make a motion, we leave status quo.
Second.
Mike Conley made a motion to leave it as it is, Jared Howard seconded it. Any more discussion on that motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
You opposed it?
I oppose it.
Okay, motion carries. You get all that down, Karen? That's our job right there. Drag it out of there.
In some other business, Mayor Shepherd says that he was in support of, as was the city council after discussion, putting $3,000 in matching money together with that of $3,000 from the McFarland County Fiscal Court for a fund to help our McFarland County Senior Citizens Center and seniors in regards to any additional stress that the senior citizens and our seniors may be experiencing due to the coronavirus. He referred to the Little League season and youth baseball being postponed until April the 28th, fingers crossed is my words, not his, saying that they will have a little extra time now, but continue to work on the Ramey Park, new fencing, and some other things they plan on doing before the start of the season. And after a brief executive session requested by Councilman Tex Holbrook, Sagersville Fire Chief Paul Howard addressed the City Council, briefly saying that he felt the City Fire and Police Department needed to start limiting foot traffic into their facility because of the significant effect it could have if one, some, or maybe even all of his department had to be quarantined for 14 days, to which the mayor and council agreed. Now going on to McFarland County Fiscal Court coverage on last evening, road signs, the census, plans on replacing bridges, and also possible plans on continuing to allow inmates or individuals be on home incarceration rather than in jail, according to Judge Executive Matt Wireman. The McFarland County Fiscal Court, as you can see here, practicing their social distancing guidelines in addition to just allowing members of the Fiscal Court and the media inside the courtroom for the meeting, each sparsely separated by about 6 feet or more of separation. With Judge Executive Matt Wireman going through several items on the agenda, saying that 106 new county road signs had already been bought and erected, replacing ones that were torn down for the most part by vandalism. He also confirmed that census packets have been mailed and everyone should be receiving theirs soon. I actually had a census knocker, if you will, on my door just a few moments ago when I had to run home, where someone from the census had been by my place of residence in Dixie. And the judge then went on to outline plans for replacing several bad bridges before the year's end with a few rounds of funding.
Agreement between McFarland County and the Kentucky Department of Rural and Municipal Aid. What this is the 80-20 money for bridges. We have submitted an application to get 3 box culverts like we put in District 1 on Laurel Branch and White Oak. We're going to put one at Bee Tree. We'll be putting one on Frank Williams Road, which is on the brushy road down on Lick Creek, and Will Valley Road. Once we get those 3 in, hopefully once we get this approved, we'll be able to order those and get those installed. July, we're going to apply for 3 more. So hopefully, 4 years in, we'll have 8 box covers in, replacing 8 bad bridges.
Judge Wireman then reminded everyone that the countywide spring cleanup campaign starts next week. It was due to have started this week, but due to the flooding, they postponed it till next week. They, of course, will be accepting tires. They also will be accepting most all other waste that you can leave outside by the curb and the county will pick up. Remember, though, next week it starts in District 2, and the following week it will be District 3, and then they'll come back to District 1 for the 3rd week. Wireman also reminded everyone that the county had declared a state of emergency on Friday, and he also announced to the court, as I announced here on the program days ago, that he had spoke with Circuit Judge Kim Childers, who had recommended that the county allow low-risk offenders currently in the Big Sandy jail to be released on home incarceration. Those inmates who have pending hearings which are not going to be able to be held due to the courts closing down temporarily. Something Judge Wireman says the county may look at continuing to do on a regular basis.
On Friday, I declared a state of emergency regarding the coronavirus that's recommended by the governor. This was done so that I could enact the emergency powers and authority under the Emergency Act as County Judge Executive. I was contacted by the circuit judge, Judge Childers, and she was wanting to let some low-risk inmates that were awaiting pre-trials and trials out on home incarceration. In order to do that, I had to sign a contract. Without calling an emergency meeting to do that, I went ahead and declared the emergency. It was already under the directive. We were actually already under a state of emergency from February, and that was a result of the flooding. So what I've done is expand and extend our current state of emergency, and that allowed me the authority to go ahead and sign this contract. But just as a matter of good business, I put it here for your all's approval to ratify the contract. It will only last until we get through this issue with the coronavirus and the state of emergency is lifted. We will then enter into a new contract that will be more structured and have terms set in it. Right now, it's $10 a day for inmates who have landlines. It's $12 a day if it requires cell service, and there's a one-time hookup fee of $50. This actually is going to save the county money, and I think it's a good program. We probably need to continue. We probably should have been done a long time ago. Yeah, but I'm glad the circuit judge, district judge, and I are all in agreement that this is a good thing, and we'll be doing it for the foreseeable future. I entertain a motion to.
And one of the last items of business was to finally be able to accept a bid for the restroom facilities at the Battlefield Park next to South McGoffin Elementary. This, of course, has been a long-standing issue after bids came in well over $100,000 on at least one, if not more, occasions, with the Fiscal Court voting to accept a bid of $89,000 in this most recent meeting that was submitted by LSM Contracting. Those funds a 50-50 match with land and water money.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
No other carrier provides service and signal to the mountains like the mountain's very own Appalachian Wireless, now providing service to Knox, Bell, and Whitley counties with retail locations in Middlesboro, Pineville, and Barberville. Appalachian Wireless offers a dependable network, exceptional customer service with a service that goes wherever you travel nationwide. We are local people serving local people, bringing today's best technology on the latest devices. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
Need an oil change? Are your brakes shot? Are you ready to turn the wick up on your diesel or lift up and accessorize your 4x4? Or get that dent fixed once and for all? Then call the professionals at Black Smoke Performance for all of your maintenance needs and auto body repair, from insurance collisions to full restoration projects. Black Smoke Performance on May Drive in Dixie of Sagersville, 3498785. Has spring ever arrived at the seasonal shop? If you're tired of those gray, rainy days, you need to come in because the shop is filled wall to wall with spring arrivals. The new Charlie Page spring line is filled with beautiful colors, prints, and styles for everyone. They've got accessories for every occasion, new jewelry, bags, and shoes. And spring is the perfect time for some redecorating or adding a few new accessories to your home. And their home decor is some of the most beautiful they've ever had. Farmhouse, traditional, equestrian, rustic, They have it all. So come into the shop and let them help you add to your home. And remember, they also offer wedding and baby registry and free local delivery at the Seasonal Shop in downtown Salyersville. With decades of experience and happy customers all over Kentucky, All Pro Gutter Works and Construction is now proud to offer long-term and 0% financing on their home improvements and home construction. That's new windows and floors, new bathrooms and kitchens, new roofs, siding, decks and porches, new turnkey homes and offices, and of course, continuous guttering in 21 colors. Locally, family owned and operated, and waiting on your next project and phone call. All Pro Gutter Works. At Salyersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Salyersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Salyersville National. McGoffin County Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration with professional, licensed, and certified commercial and residential service technicians that can maintain and repair all manufacturers with new and old installation and financing available. Serving McGoffin, Morgan, Lawrence, Martin, Johnson, Floyd, and Breathitt counties. McGoffin County Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration, 349-1058 or 225-6779. Your calendar and weather forecast always need to knows in just a few moments. Speaking of need to know, it's better than 20 pages in this form. I'm uncertain as to how many it will take to go into tomorrow's edition of the Salyersville Independent, but we, and specifically our editor, Heather Oney, has been working very hard this week to get as much up-to-date and correct information that will be hitting the presses very early in the morning. This is a newspaper that we encourage you to pick up and then hang on to for the foreseeable future. We'll be updating it over the course of the next few weeks, but it is a very detailed list, very well put together, very concise, as much information as we could get submitted to us from local businesses and organizations in regards to the coronavirus. A lot of information about the health department, hours, phone numbers, the needle exchange programming, changes, an update on the WIC program from the health department, the Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center as well, giving us an updated list of their services, Big Sandy Healthcare as well, Physicians for Women, Frontier Medical Associates, also giving us up-to-date information about their operations as it stands currently, Prater Drugstore, other local pharmacies, local governmental office numbers that you will need to call, but since those offices are no longer open to foot traffic but are still operating, those for all the clerk's offices, emergency management, something from each of those offices in regards to the services that they are still offering, how you can obtain those services. I do not have the time to go on and list our local utilities, Licking Valley RECC, Foothills Communications, Appalachian Wireless, many others, all having to alter their normal operating procedure, and all with statements and information in tomorrow's edition of the Salyersville Independent. Local restaurants, local banks, the list does indeed go on. Please pick the paper up, hold on to it. We truly believe it's some information that will come in very handy over the course of the next unknown days or weeks. With that said, just a brief community calendar, which also has some important information for you, and a reminder to use it whenever you have a cancellation for your organization, church, or what have you, and keep those birthdays and anniversaries coming as well. On our calendar, the Water into Wine Food Pantry, they're having their Senior Commodity Day tomorrow, but an important announcement to those seniors. Pull in and stay in your car, and they are going to very graciously take care of you from there. They'll form a line in the parking lot of your vehicles, and if you're on the commodity list, they're going to bring your commodities out to you. So the Water into Wine Senior Commodity Day will continue tomorrow at the Lakefront Church of God on Route 30. And, of course, our calendar continues to be here for you each and every weeknight, and I stress again, and I will again before I leave you tonight, we've worked very hard, especially our editor, Heather Oney, in compiling as much need-to-know information to have at your hands as possible to be out in tomorrow morning's edition of the Salyersville Independent. Phone numbers, contacts, the list just goes on and on and on. So we certainly hope that you'll pick one up and keep it handy for the foreseeable future. And we'll be updating that list in the coming weeks. With that said, the first funeral announcement this evening comes in honor of Neva Louise Fletcher, 83, of Sandbottom, who passed away on yesterday's date, preceded in death by her husband Norman Fletcher, son Scotty DeHaven, and daughter Bonnie Reisner. She is survived by sons Terry Lee Allen, Bo Reisner, daughter Tina Bradley, and a host of family and friends. Funeral services for Louise Fletcher are going to be held this Friday morning starting at 11 at the Sagersville Funeral Home. Family will be welcomed Thursday evening after 4 at the funeral home. An 85-year-old Rosa Lee Salyer Minix of Dansville, Michigan, passed away on the 12th. Funeral services to be held this Saturday, the 21st, at 1 o'clock at the Minix Family Cemetery at 4 Acre. There will be a brief visitation 1 hour before the services begin. Now let's take a look outside. Taking a look outside, some light rain starting to fall. That's going to only pick up over the course of this evening. Tonight looks to be the heaviest of showers and possible storms. It doesn't mean we don't have some more, though, in the rest of your forecast. With rain falling behind me, here's an updated rainfall estimate from the National Weather Service, putting us anywhere between an inch to an inch and a half. I think the inch and a half is going to be on the high side for a general area, unless you get in on one of those thunderstorms, which are quite possible. That line just moving into eastern Kentucky and expected to stay here and roll over through here is more precise way to say it. Over the course of the overnight, some thunderstorms possibly embedded therein, and showers and storms on and off throughout the rest of your forecast. With that said, as those showers and potential storms approach, we've got them obviously in your Licking Valley RECC forecast. A low tonight of 61 on average southwesterly winds anywhere from 5 to 22 miles per hour. And that could, of course, increase to get under a good thunderstorm. Rainfall amounts a half an inch tonight possible, again, except for the possibility of getting under a real downpour. So for your Thursday, there's a chance of showers before 2, thunderstorms later on in the afternoon, some patchy fog that will start it all off lingering maybe till 10 or 11 or so. Otherwise, we're going to see 75, cloudy, a 50% chance of showers throughout most of your Friday, and winds coming upwards of 18 to 20 miles per hour. Not so much additional rainfall tomorrow, maybe a quarter of an inch, except for the possibility of some thunderstorms which could develop on your Thursday. You'll need to keep an eye on the weather for certainly the next 24 hours, maybe not quite so much. We'll start to see a bit of a break, I think, by this time tomorrow before another possible round on your Friday. Thursday night, 63, mostly cloudy, and a 40% chance of showers. Friday, however, will hit the low 70s. Showers and thunderstorms are possible, and likely for the showers, possible for the thunderstorms. Winds still out of the west-southwest, 10 to 28 mile per hour gusts. Maybe another quarter of an inch, maybe a half an inch on the high side as far as an average is concerned for Friday, unless you get under one of those thunderstorms. Friday night, a lingering 40% chance of showers and a low of 40. Saturday, mostly cloudy and 49, but dry. And Saturday night, still holding on to partly cloudy skies and a low of 28, which means we could have, I haven't said it for a while, some patchy frost in your forecast Saturday night, lingering into your Sunday morning. For the latter half of your weekend, a 10%, that's all, a 10% chance of some showers after 4 o'clock Sunday. Otherwise, partly sunny and 56, a pretty decent end to your weekend as far as Sunday is concerned. And then back by the time Sunday night rolls around and into the first of the week, we've got more shower chances, a 50% chance Sunday night, 30% on Monday, with a daytime high, actually a 60% chance on Monday, a likelihood with 59 for the high. Tuesday, a 40% chance, mostly sunny and 62. Wednesday, a 50% chance, mostly cloudy and 64. And that's it. Another day of as much coverage as we can bring you into a half an hour, maybe a little bit more. Thank you all for understanding. As I said last evening, with the efforts that are ongoing here, trying to keep you up to date. A lot of the news in regards to the coronavirus locally and statewide coming later in the afternoon kind of forces my hand a little bit. The show may be a few minutes late. I do, however, when I am late, have a message that says stay tuned. Your News Today is next, so you'll know that we are coming up. Foothills Communications graciously plays that for us whenever I put it on, so I'm sure you're aware of that by now. But keep that in mind. We may be a few minutes late. The show might last a few minutes long. And who knows, maybe I'll be on time next time. Regardless, I sincerely want to thank you for bearing with us and being here with us each and every weeknight, and I will see you tomorrow.